Good evening and welcome to the Radical SR8 Championship. Round 4 takes us to Red Atlanta in the USA. I am Tom Cairns in the commentary position with James Parfitt, who will take us for the ride of our lives, not just once, not twice, but 3 times. We'll be having 3 races around this wonderful course that's been around since 1970. We're into the closing minutes of qualifying. So let's have a look at the scores on the doors after the opening 3 rounds of the season. We'll begin with the pros, where Aidan Blake has been able to maintain his place at the top of the pile. The gap between him and his nearest rival for the championship, that is Jet Veazey, the closest challenger, 135. The reigning champion, 31 points clear of third place. Mike Boosson with 104. That's James Coombs in fourth with 99. Matthew Richardson, who took 2 wins last week at Interlagos, has elevated himself up the order into fifth with 98. Then we've got Luke Maxwell, Stephen Place, Josh Reed, Glenn Mulholland, and John Hutchinson, who wasn't around last week, but he's back in action for tonight. He's sitting in P10. Mena de Graaf, Dario Fittini, Luke Chinson, and Paul Grab have also scored points so far. In the AM class, Gert-Jan Polman is leading the way, but only by 3 points over Ty Hamo in second, 66 playing 63. Then it's Bjorn Matteson in third place with 54. Then we've got Steve Webb in fourth on 50. He's 16 points off the top. Then we've got Gareth Newton, Stephen Millis, Michael Mannion, Remy Tellens, and Koji Haoyu are the rest of those in that respective class. Let's get a word with James Parfitt on what's been an absolutely roasting bank holiday. James, good evening.
Good evening, how are we all? Yes, you are right. Roasting is one word to put it. Let's put it that way. I think it's like 31 degrees at some point today. And it's just been hot, isn't it? And I think this is the thing. I was talking about this last night with you and on another broadcast. And literally, we were sitting there saying how this is going to affect it. We had, for the league that it is, we had really low numbers. And I think people are just struggling with the heat. And I know there was a lot of chat this week in the Discord about the heat. Some people like have got fans pointing at them. Some have got, well, Mike Bousson's got about 15 fans in his PC, and it'll probably still overheat, to be blatantly honest with you. Others have been buying air conditioning units as well. James Coombs went and bought an air conditioning unit because his room got to 30 odd degrees in one day. I think there's just going to be a lot of people who are, going to struggle, and I think that's probably reflected. We've got 12 people in the session here, so I think that probably the heat's had a lot to do with it.
Yeah, I would say so as well. And plus, people have got families. It is a bank holiday after all, which you can't necessarily blame them. They can use this as one of their 2 drop rounds for the season. We've got 10 rounds for this Radical SR8 Championship. We've already been to Silverstone, Road America, and Interlagos. It's Road Atlanta tonight. The subsequent rounds we've got after this one are at Nords, Imola, Zolder, Watkins Glen, Phillip Island, and the historic combined configuration of Monza to round out the season on the 6th of July.
Yeah, it should be a very interesting one. I think that what's left of this, to be blatantly honest with you as well. I believe that's Matty Richardson in YouTube chat. Evening, guys. A shame I couldn't make it today. What's your reason? Give me a reason, Matty. It better be a darn good one, like you're on holiday or something wonderful like that, because the weather just ain't going to cut it, mate. If I'm sat here in my office with no windows sweating, you better be here as well, sunshine. I can tell you that much. But yeah, no, I think this is the thing. Bank holiday is one of these moments where people are just like, yeah, I'm running away. I'm escaping down at the beach at the Isle of Wight. Oh, okay. I'll let you off. How's that? Jesus Christ, is that not packed, bro? I've seen videos this week, Tom, of beaches, or this weekend, of beaches like Weymouth and Bournemouth and Poole, and there's people are like elbow to elbow on the beach. Like, what? You know what I mean? Why do you want to sit so close to each other in the beach? I don't get it myself. But anyway, grid's up, and let's see how these guys are going to get on.
Yep, and it's John Hutchinson who takes the first point of tonight, as he is on pole position for race number 1. Luke Maxwell joins him, and then we've got Mike Boosson and James Coombs in third and fourth. Steve Place and Glenn Mulholland are fifth and sixth, and we've got Mena de Graaf and Gert-Jan Polman, who's the highest of all those in the AMs. Michael Mannion and Ty Hamo run out the top 10. We've got Stephen Millis and Richard Lucas, and at the back, who's only just arrived, is Luke Chinson.
Yeah, Luke's on a laptop. He's trying his hardest to get in. I believe he's on a laptop, I think, by what I've just seen in the Discord. He said he's managed to get his laptop fired up, and he's hoping the download finishes in time. So I'm guessing he's got some form of PC issues. It wasn't actually that busy, surprisingly, which was a massive relief. Yeah, dude. As I say, I've looked at others, and they've been like elbow to elbow. I don't know why you would want to sit that close to it. I can't think of anything worse, to be honest with you. I don't know, the beach just stresses me out, Tom. I don't even think it's because the sand gets everywhere. I think it's just people seem to want to go crazy in a day, and all of a sudden we go, let's go to the beach, and then they're just, ugh. No, I couldn't handle that, unfortunately.
No, the thing is, when you stand on the sand and you're walking along it, it's like walking along lava in
Yeah.
30-degree temperature.
Oh yeah, it's just too hot, mate. Too hot. I've been sat at home. I've had my hot tub set to about 34 degrees, and my kids have just been getting in and out of it all day because it's just been nicely chilled out. So yeah, but we'll see. Lights are on.
Lights are on, and it's John Hudson who's looking to lead the way ahead of the field. Lights are on. Lights off, it's go over at Atlanta for the first of 3 races. It's Hudson who gets off to a respectable start ahead of Luke Maxwell, who's thinking about a move to the outside. Bousson is there as well. Looking further down in the pack, it looks like Michael Mannion is on the move past Menno de Graaf, who's the reigning AMS champion, but has been elevated up to the pros for this season. And they're still dicing out as they go through the S's for the first time. So it's Hudson leads, it's Maxwell, Bousson, Coombs, Mulholland in 5th place, who's got place in de Graaf. Michael Munnion's in 8th position, and the highest in the AMS ahead of Stefan Losgate, Ty Hamo and Richard Lucas. It doesn't seem like Lucas going to take the start, unfortunately, JP.
No, it doesn't look like it. I don't think he's made it, to be blatantly honest with you. I think maybe his PC's just not really playable on this one, but McHutchison did what he had to do. He's only got 15 minutes. This is going to be the problem, though. It'll be down here for John. It's what Maxwell's going to do here, whether or not he's going to get over him or not, because obviously it's a long straightaway, and I've seen Luke play games at this track, so I wouldn't be surprised. But he's pulled out now. He's heading down into turn number 10, I should say, as he's coming into the right-hander. He's going to go round the outside. He should have the inside for the next part. John gives him room, Tom, but he comes out and they're heading out side by side, almost 3 wide.
Yeah, I remember Hudson going out wide, but at least he'll have the straight line speed through the final section of the course. So that one is done. We've got Bousson side by side with Maxwell all the way to turn number 1 on this second lap, and surely Bousson's going to be able to break later than Maxwell into the apex. He does so, and he used that to his advantage to go into second place. There we see James Coombs, who won't be a happy man after the weekend, not to mention why. He's sitting in 4th position ahead of Glenn Mulholland, who's just looking to just hammer his way through.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I don't think he's going to be, Coombs is going to be overly happy. We'll try and have a chat with him later on and see how he feels about West Ham's demise out of the Premier League. But as a Spurs fan, I don't care. So there we go. On that one, they survived, and that was about it. However, I was looking forward to cheaper tickets, Tom, but never going to happen. So, yeah, going to get the same. I think Stefan Mellis has had some drama here on lap 1. I'm not entirely sure what he did, but he's done something to himself, Stefan Mellis. Oh, this is on the way into 7. I think he is. He's going to spin it up on the exit. And yep, there you go. Hits the curb. And unfortunately, Stefan Mellis has that awkward half spin. But he does get carried away and get going again as well. But Menno, Steve Place, and also Glenn Mulholland fighting it out again once more into turn 10A.
Yep, so they're going out of the last section of the course once more before the second lap is out. Those see Mulholland in 5th position, no longer there now because Place is already up the inside at the end of the lap. It looked like Mulholland just left the door open for the Canadians to go on by, but Place will just take the position anyhow. So he's in the place to be as de Graaf looks to try and make a move of his own on Mulholland. But Mulholland doesn't seem to have a good grip on this circuit at the moment.
Yeah, I think this is one of these circuits where everybody's been to, but they just want to make sure they get it right, especially here on turn 5. You know, you go out onto the curb, you've got to take all of it or take none of it. You can't half it, because if you half it, it just all goes wrong, and then you're in deep, deep trouble. Jan Polman's chasing down Michael Mannion from the WMP1 boys. Him and Ty Hamo repping WMP1 this week. Hamo just in behind these guys, as you see Jan Polman there, making moves as much as he possibly can. This is going to be another run down into 10A, 10B. Watch Polman. Watch how fast he gets. It's going to be north of 145, 146 here. So, yeah, I'm expecting Polman to be able to make that move.
Yeah, there we see Polman going through, and he's at the head of the AMS now. So he's ahead on by. Looks like Richard Lucas has dropped back from his position. I think he's made a mistake earlier on in the race to see him that far back from the AM trio of Polman, Mannion and Hamo. Well, Hamo's just been allowed through by Mannion. That was a planned overtake, and I imagine there's been some communication on Discord.
Yeah, this is why, unfortunately for these guys, he goes in, runs wide, and he has to go and hit the brake, and then he's in deep, deep trouble after that. But yeah, he loses a place there as well. But now we've got Bousson over Maxwell chasing down McHutchison, but he has got Maxwell tucked in behind him.
Yeah, we're looking at the red flying cars in first, second, and third place, respectively. It's like old times again, considering the reduced field we have for tonight, considering the conditions as well. Not just today, but over the weekend as well in the UK, reaching the highest in bank holiday or May Day history, 32.9 degrees Celsius over at Heathrow.
Yeah, not happy about that. I think Busan is out there at the moment, sitting in third place, running after John McHutchinson. But again, Luke Maxwell will stay in contact with him. The draft is strong here. Very, very strong, and he's got to make sure he can try and hold on to it. As I say, I've seen Luke play games here on the final lap of races, waiting for that 10A, 10B situation down the back straight, and it hasn't always worked out. You've got to be mindful that if you are going to try and attempt playing games on the final lap of this race, down that straight, you get it right, because you can be in deep, deep trouble there. I can see that happening once again. But Gaëtan Polman and Menno de Graaf and Glenn Mulholland battling away, as is John McHutchison, Mike Buson and Luke Maxwell.
Yeah, John McHutchison with one race win already this season. That came at Silverstone in the opening rounds. Like I say, it wasn't around last week for Interlagos. We'll find out later as to why that was, but we can maybe guess as to maybe why it wasn't around for then. But Hudson is in a league, well, I don't say he's in a league of his own, because he's not exactly pulling away from this, he's just managing the situation like we've seen from him from time to time.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's the thing. John is, you know, cool, calm and collective there, and I think he's been here. You know what I mean? He's like a dartboard. He's been around the block, he's seen it all. There ain't one thing he hasn't seen. He's done endurances, he's done SR8s, he's done loads of other stuff as well. So, you know, John's got his head screwed on, even though he is Scottish. He's all right. You know what I mean? I think he'll be able to manage this one quite comfortably there as well. Hugh Black's in YouTube talking about this weekend as well. West Ham came into form too late and played half-assed when they should have dominated. Bring back boys, I say. Well, to be fair, mate, Spurs did exactly the same, didn't they? They changed manager and then brought him in, and it was on the last game of the season. I really did think, though, dude, Spurs were going to go down. My prediction was West Ham was going to win 2-1 and Spurs were going to lose 1-0. But, you know, hey, for Spurs to win 1-0, I'll take it, son. And they managed to stay in the Premier League. So we'll see how they get on next season. Hopefully, Tom, a bit better than this season.
Well, they've been 17 for the last couple of seasons. It's mainly on Spurs. It's not exactly like they've gone forwards this time around.
Mate, they haven't.
My beloved team.
No, unfortunately they haven't. Yeah, we don't talk about Arsenal, fella. Don't want to talk about them.
Well, it wasn't Arsenal I was going to allude to, because that's not the team I support. But anyway.
Oh, Man United, sorry.
It's Man United.
Yeah, sorry. Well, there we go. Good old Premier League.
Good old Premier League indeed. Well, let's see if these can put on a show just as much as the Premier League has done. Booston and Maxwell swap places again. As it's Maxwell going back into the position of where he was on the grid. So in fact, now, if you look at the order, the top 7 drivers, of which are in pro, are in the same positions. Or in fact, it might be top 8.
Top 8, yeah.
Yeah, they're all in the same positions as where they were on the grid.
Yeah, none of them have moved places. They've all stayed where they are at this moment in time, so and got their positions back currently. Menno de Graaf, however, battling away with Glenn Mulholland. I love the fact that we've got the WMP1 boys here. Hopefully these guys will leave each other alone and not make contact, as we have seen this season quite a lot from the WMP1. So we're hoping they don't hit each other, but you never can tell with Michael Mannion and Ty Hamo. But we'll see how they get on here as well. But Luke Maxwell is in front of Buson and he's now got to hold on to him once again. But listen, this will swap all the way down from turn 7 to 10, I can tell you that much.
Now, Buson can get a good drive coming out of here, which he feels like he has to. He'll get the drive from Maxwell in front. And so Buson will head into second place by the time he gets to turns 10A and B. He is close enough, of course, but Buson needs to the inside. Maxwell is feeling a little bit defensive at this point, but the problem is if they start fighting, it will allow Hudson to pull further and further away. So they need to consider how to play this one, because they haven't got long left in this first race. We're approaching the 9-minute mark. 6 minutes to go in this first race, so I'd probably say we're looking at around about 5 more laps of this first race. Top 5 get reversed as well for race number 2. So the driver in mind for reverse grid pole, that would be Steve Place, the Canadian.
Yeah, it should be fun. The reverse grid's always good, isn't it, on that one? We've got Steve Webb in YouTube chat as well. Sorry, I did not get back in time from Brands marshalling in 90-degree hard work. Steve, do me a favour, Sunshine. Look in Discord as a DM. I sent you a message earlier on in the week. Have a look for me, will you, Sunshine? That would be awesome as these guys continue to fight out. Lap 8 here with about 5.5 minutes to go, and see how these guys get on and see whether or not this is going to move. I think the only movement is whether or not these guys need to settle in with each other. I think Maxwell and Buson at the moment need to kind of try and work together if they can. They, as you say, Tom, they have not got long here, mate, and otherwise it's going to be Muck Hutchinson pulling away with it.
Yeah, well, Hutchinson isn't pulling away just yet, so I think, like you say, Maxwell and Buson need to work together to just put Hutchinson under a little bit of pressure here. Now, Hutchinson is a previous champion of this series. Maxwell is not, and Buson is. Buson is hoping to regain the crown at some point. But the reigning champion is also not here tonight, Jack Veazey.
Yeah, I don't know why this is not. I think he's probably holiday. You know what I mean? Come on, let's be real. I'd go on holiday as well. But it's interesting, out of all the seasons we've been doing this, we're 8 seasons deep in the SR8s now. It's interesting the fact that Maxwell has not won a championship. It's actually, physically, it's actually mind-boggling that he hasn't won a championship. This guy is so good. And yet, if I even remotely gave you an explanation of what Luke Maxwell looks like, you would not believe me. You would not believe me at all. Because he is a mountain of a man. Absolute mountain. And, Buson had a slide. He's going to lose that. Coombs is going to go through. With Mike Buson there. Slide coming out of 7. And now Buson's behind James Coombs. But yeah, Maxwell is mind-boggling that he hasn't won a championship.
Well, I'm sure his time will come. Buson has allowed Coombs to go on by into 3rd position. I don't know what's going on with Buson, whether he made a mistake on the exit.
Yeah, he did. He slid out of 7. Yeah, Coombs got him out of 7. If you have a look here, watch Buson on the exit. Gets a little bit of a slide, and then unfortunately James Coombs does go through. But yeah, now it's Maxwell's closed right into the back of McHutchinson and tucked in behind him at the moment.
Yep, so we've got over the line with around about 3.5 minutes to go. So we've got 3 more laps of racing here at Road Atlanta in racing 1. Oh, you just see how far wide Hudson went there. That could upset his momentum through the S's. But it seems like he's gathered it all up. But this is the thing now, with Maxwell right in the wheel tracks of Hudson, it kind of changes the game for Hudson at this point, because he knows Maxwell's driving self in the back of his own hand, because he's seen him race against him so many times. I think Maxwell went too far out wide actually at turn 5, so that drops him back down, back further away from Hudson at this point. But these two have fought so much over the seasons, it's almost like they're very, very familiar with how each other race and knowing their strengths and weaknesses.
Mate, they're teammates. You know what I mean? They've been teammates for as long as I can remember. In the Team Radlide team, along with Mike Buson, of course. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. He knows what he's going to do, and they know that how close they can get to each other. They know how to battle with each other as Mulholland and Melo de Graaf are flicking backwards and forwards. Is this going to happen coming out of 10B? Breathe, boys, breathe. Down through 11. They're still running side by side. I hope they don't try 2 and 3 side by side, Tom, because I think that's going to go wrong.
Well, Mendigov, I think, has got him. I'm very happy he's kept his foot in there on this occasion, because you can so easily get it wrong through that last section with the way the...
Oh, no, they are. They are.
No, he's got him. He's got him there.
No, they can be... Oh, Jesus. Oh. Right, there you go. Defib, I think, for me on that one. But yeah, they managed to survive. Well done, boys. Because that could have gone horribly wrong up turn 2 and 3.
Considering the way the circuit undulates as well, so much could go wrong at that moment. But thankfully, Mendigov got the job done that time around. Gertjan Pommen is on his way to victory in the AM. He's got a comfortable margin over Michael Mannion, 6 seconds to be exact now. So that's a foregone conclusion, to say the least. These are the closest battles we've got. I mean, this is probably the closest out of the whole field, in all honesty. But Mulholland is coming back on de Graaf on the straight towards turn 10A and B. It feels like de Graaf may have this one covered for the time being, as the leaders are about to start their final lap of the race.
Yeah, you see John, fastest 5 laps of the last time out. Luke Maxwell got it this time. John McHutchison, then Buson, then placing Coombs at the moment. Buson's going side by side with Coombs into turn 1. He has managed to get that position done. So Buson back into third at the moment, but I wouldn't like to predict how this is going to turn out here, because I've got a funny feeling if Maxwell's close enough, he's going to take a run at him from 7 to 10.
We'll see. Through this for the last time now. Maxwell needs to nail this section here, but it goes a little bit too far out wide. That's been a weakness for Maxwell throughout this race, is that particular corner, where he's gone so far out on the curb and he loses exit speed.
Yeah, well, now this is it now. Ross Maxwell got 4 tenths at the moment. VZ's in YouTube chat. 2 up for me today, but we'll be there next week. All right, bud. Do you enjoy the football over the weekend, mate? Just saying.
You're asking me that question?
No, Jack VZ.
Well, we've got Maxwell thinking about a move on Hudson at the end of the straightaway for the last time. It doesn't seem to be like he's going through that time around. Buson and Coombs are still going at it, though. That final part of the course. Buson just about holds on. But it's Hudson who takes the first win after his absence last week. He's back to winning ways for the Scotsman. He leads Luke Maxwell over the line. James Coombs beats Mike Buson by the narrowest of margins, 76 thousandths of a second to be exact. Steve Place finishes 5th and will therefore start on reverse grip over race number 2 ahead of Melody Bath and Glenn Holland, who finished 6th and 7th. And Pullman is the winner in the AMS, and deservedly so, with Michael Mannion and Ty Hamo completing the podium. But it is Steve Place will be a reverse grip pole ahead of Mike Buson, who will start in P2. John Hudson is the winner in the first race of tonight. Yeah,
this is the run for Coombs and Buson. Buson got it wrong on the exit of B. Then Coombs comes up the inside, dives down the inside of him. Buson trying to go full flat here, hence he hit the grass on the outside because he was like, nope, I'm going for it. And I think Coombs just grabbed him right at the end. So fair play to him on that one. Just waiting for Stefan Mellis to come over the line at the moment. There goes Stefan, and then Richard Lucas, who, he looks broke, very broke.
Yeah.
For Richard Lucas. Oh, what have you done? Oh, dear me, I wonder if I can get this in quick enough. This is going into 10A and 10B. Around he goes. Oh, he spun on the curb and he's hit the wall. We'll bring up the grid for race number 2, and this is how they're going to sit at the moment.
Well, Steve Place is on reverse grip pole and Mike Buson, James Coombs and Luke Maxwell on row 2, followed by John Hudson, the winner of race 1. He lines up ahead of Menna de Graaf with Glenn Holland and Gert-Jan Polman. In 7th and 8th, Michael Mannion and Ty Hamo in 9th and 10th, and we've got Stefan Millis and Richard Lucas. And I don't think Luchinson is going to start this one. I might be wrong.
No, I think you might be right on that one. There's Stephen Place ready to go, as these guys are going to be battling it out once more for another 15 minutes.
Well, everyone has arrived now, so we are good to go for the second of 3 races. 15 minutes it will be again, with top 10 finishes being reversed for the third and final event. But more on that later. The lights are coming on now. Oh, there's a jump start there at the back. Lights are on. Lights off. It's go for race number 2. And it's a good start for Steve Place. What about Mike Buson? Can he do what he did in the first race and get a jump on the car ahead of him? Well, he's to the outside and he's through already. So Mike Buson straight into the lead, but goes too far out wide. And Steve Place gets him back. And we've got James Coombs in 3rd place, fighting it out with Luke Maxwell. But it's Maxwell who takes the position. So far it's Place, Buson, Maxwell, Coombs and Hudson. And Richard Lucas at the back had jumped the start, James. Here we go then on the straightaway, and it is Buson attacking Place for the lead. What about Maxwell? Because he's looming in behind. And it's Buson who will take over leadership. I think it was a foregone conclusion. I think from the moment he got within the car's length alongside Place, Place decided to just play the long game and let Buson go that time around. Nice to see the field so close. And Buson is trying to build up a margin over his rivals on paper, the likes of Maxwell and Hutchinson, for the sake of the championship. Busan already has a victory this season at Road America. He'll be hoping to double the winning tally by the end of this second race. Steve Place in P2 has yet to take a race win since he's joined the Radical SR8 Championship at the beginning of this campaign. I'd like to think that he'll put that right in the future though, because I think he's definitely got the talent in there to come away with a win at some point. The WNP1 cars are at the back again. Ty Hammer and Michael Munyon in 9th and 10th overall. And there's been changes of position in the pros. It looks like Buson and Coombs have both been off the circuit. And I wonder if there's been contact between the pair of them, or did they just go off at the same time, JP? Down in 7th and 8th, they've got Jan Polman ahead of them, so they want to try and move back ahead of Polman very, very quickly. But now Place is back in the lead ahead of Maxwell. How long will he remain there for? Well, Maxwell's within range to attack here. And I wonder if he'll send it here into turn 10A, which is what he's decided to do. And Place, just like we did with Buson. Well, I say that. He's actually fighting this time around, and I'm very happy for him to do that. But now he's left the door open for Maxwell on the exit down the hill, and we have another change of lead, so the lead changes twice in the space of a lap, and it is Maxwell into the lead of the race. Hudson to the inside of Place. Place goes to the outside. That's too deep. That's a little too deep, I think, for Steve to make the position, and now he's left himself exposed to Hudson entering the S's, and Hudson is able to go on through and capitalise. I think he pulled out because he didn't want to be too close behind Hutchinson entering the braking zone. But now Hutchinson's in the fight of his own with Maxwell, looking to make it 2 wins from 2, just as Matthew Richardson did at Interlagos last week. But I think Hutchinson knows he knows that every single point counts towards the end of the campaign. And there are a couple of dropped scores to consider for each driver that goes towards their final totals for this season.
Into the session every single week, you know what I mean? They like to take part as much as they can, and you know, Chinison set a laptop up and everything, and unfortunately we just can't seem to get him driving, so I'm a bit confused by that. But Maxwell and Hutchinson going at each other once again.
And there we see the top two locking horns once more, like we've seen from them time and time. Hudson seems to have got a decent drive off the exit of 7 and through the piece of 8 and 9 before he actually sends it on Maxwell. Does Maxwell go defensive here? I think he's going to have to. He will not want to let Hudson go by that easily. So Maxwell goes to the inside to defend. Hudson will stay on the racing line, which then could give him the high ground coming out of 10A and into B. But Maxwell holding his nerve and remaining ahead.
Yeah, I'd say, you know, he's another one that's no slouch here, Luke. So we'll find out how these guys are going to get in, but Place holding on his own, which is absolutely amazing. Got Jan Polman, he's got Manny and Hamo a little bit closer this time around. Melle's trying to rejoin the pack. Richard Lucius, of course, had to go into pit lane after jumping the start. Probably sure that's a clutch slip or a brake slip or something, because he did only move a little bit. But yeah, then Pullman holding on to the lead of the AMs currently. AMs obviously in green, Pros in orange, as these guys continue to fight. But it is these front four at the moment, even with Menno de Graaf on the back, hanging on here and doing a good job in the process. So we'll see how this one goes for the rest of this one. We're halfway through. We'll see if Luke Maxwell can hold on.
Well, he needs to pick up another win at some point, as Maxwell has got one already at Silverstone. And that's been the only one he's picked up so far. And he'll hope to make it 2 wins, just as what John Marshall was able to do in race number 1. But could we have a new face standing on the top stand? That is Steve Place, who's running in 3rd position. And Menno de Graaf hoping to pick up his first win overall in this series. He's taking victories in the AM class in the past. But he's a pro these days. Maxwell goes defensive once more into turn 10A. You can just see the...
oh, no, it's not.
Oh, that's contact. That's contact. And Maxwell goes off the circuit into one of the other configurations of this course before he comes back on.
Yeah, I don't know if that was contact. I've got to be honest there. I'm not entirely sure. No, he lost. I think he lost it on his own. I think he'd already lost that on his own. And unfortunately for Luke, I think that was his own mistake. I don't know, can't quite pin what he did, but whatever he did it out there. I'm trying to see if I can pick up Luke. Where are you, Luke?
Yeah, there's no contact actually.
No,
right.
I think he comes over the top and slides, unfortunately for Luke. Drops himself down the order. Menno de Graaf in second with Stephen Place tucked up behind him. So go Menno, but John McHutchison has got an opportunity here for another win.
Another win to go towards his points table for the campaign. He went into this one, I think it was 10th in the standings coming into this event, John McHutchison. If you bear in mind, like I said, he wasn't around last week. Just bear that in mind, but we'll just have a look at the table once more because it keeps scrolling up and down. Yeah, 10th position in the championship is John McHutchison. 70 points off the top coming into this one. Given that Aidan Blake is not around tonight, I think John can gobble all that up because Veezy isn't around either.
Yeah, look, we're still early days, aren't we, in this championship? Anything can change over the next period of time, but it's interesting on here at the moment. Bousson and Coombs battling away with each other and seeing who's got what capability of doing what. Pullman's got Luke Maxwell in behind him. I don't think that's a fight that Gert-Jan Pullman really wants to be a part of, but he is, and Maxwell's in front of Hamo and Mannion, so maybe it'd be good for the AMs if they sit behind Luke and learn what he does and how he does it, because he's a bit of a master, I've got to be honest on that one. But yeah, Luke's got some driving to do, try and get back up into the fight of these ones.
It's top 10 finishes that are reversed for race number 3. So Maxwell will just need to pick these off one by one. And then sitting in 10th place, Michael Mannion will be the one starting from the first group pole. Unless Stefan Mellis can do anything about him.
It's a bit far back, he's about 2.5 seconds back, he's got no draft to Stefan. So unless all of a sudden he's going to be driving at full pace here, he's going to have to work hard to try and get there. But you can see now, Luke Maxwell, is he going to dive up the inside? He pulls out on Pullman. I think he's going to send it on him, gets it stopped, and Pullman and Maxwell goes through. Menno, however, still holding on from Stephen Place and Glenn Mulholland, as these three still battling it out for that coveted second spot in the race.
Yeah, absolutely. Menno de Graaf having the race of his life so far in P2, making the most of other drivers' misfortunes. He took advantage of Coombs and Bousson when they went off at the same time, and he took advantage of Maxwell when he went off. So he basically picking them off one by one without really needing to do anything, Menno de Graaf. So I hope that John Hudson makes some form of error of his own, but how often do we see John make mistakes? Well, we have seen him make mistakes before, but it's not as many as what others would do.
Yeah, that's the thing. Everybody's human. We have to remember that. This isn't AI racing, you know what I mean? And these guys are human, and they do make mistakes, and everybody does it, and that's the thing. Even John McHutchison, you've seen Luke Maxwell make one, you've seen Bousson make one, you've seen Coombs make one. They all do it at some point, you know, and that's the thing. That's the art of winning races, is being the most consistent. Sometimes it's just not your day.
Let's see if Place can put de Graaf in his place as they go into turn 10A. Beat Glenn Mulholland, who is also another race winner this season. He won the third and final event at Road America a couple of weeks ago. Now he's aiming for his second victory. So out of all 10 races we've had so far this season in the Radical SR8 Championship, John Hutchison's won 2. Aidan Blake has won 2. We've got the likes of Luke Maxwell Mike Bousson, Glenn Mulholland. Just trying to think. Oh yeah, Matthew Richardson's won 2 as well.
Yeah.
And Jack Veazey's won 1.
Yeah, Richardson took 2 last time out at Interlagos, which was a great evening of racing that time. So we'll see how they get on here. Coombs has jumped onto the back of this group. He's dropped Bousson by the tune of 1 second. Mike's got to be careful here. If he drops out the draft, he's going to be in deep trouble. Gertjan Polman and Ty Hamo are doing that into turn 6 and 7. They did swap. Hamo did get... no, Ty. And it all goes in one corner. So that's the end of that one. Mulholland and Place running side by side down into 10A.
Yeah, it's Mulholland going to the outside, staying on the racing line. What does Place decide to do? Does he let him go by, or does he outbrake him into turn 10A? Well, he outbrakes him. He's able to get the car slowed down. So that is Place back ahead of Mulholland. And now James Cairns has managed to find himself back in the action again. Takes advantage of Mulholland, who had to lift off the throttle coming out of turn 10B. It's not enough for Coombs to just sail on through into what would have been 4th position.
Yeah, the interesting thing is this, is what he's going to be able to do here. He's got to be faster than the other 2. And the problem is, if he doesn't get close enough, that gap will just keep extending. That brief little moment of fighting between Mulholland and Coombs has brought Bousson 7 attempts into it. So he's got an opportunity now to really hang on to these guys if he can, as long as he doesn't make any mistakes at the moment for Mike Bousson. Because I tell you what, if they stop fighting, which they're not, it's down to 6.5 attempts, he should be able to start catching some of the draft now to start pulling that gap back in. So it should be an interesting one.
Straight away they go again. It's Hudson, who is on his way for 2 wins from 2 this evening, which will be his 3rd for the campaign. Bousson has got himself back to the tail of the crocodile. I don't know if he's going to be able to do anything about these. He may even think about the grid position for race number 3. Coombs thinks about an overtake on Mulholland that time around. Can he maybe try and do what he thought about doing on the previous lap, where he's going to the inside into the last corner, and that is Coombs through. He got on the curb at the same time, which will have cost him speed down the straight. I think he's done enough here to move into 4th position, and he does so. Yeah,
he does. I think the thing is, Coombs has now just made a mistake, however, going up, and has lost that place to Mulholland again. Oh, he's slow. I love that on the back of Mulholland's wing. Smile and wave, boys. Smile and wave. If anybody knows what that is in reference to, then you've got children and you've sat and watched TV as, what's it called? Oh,
Madagascar.
Madagascar. You've sat and watched that as well, and then you know what that's referenced to. But these guys having a right little scrap, and Bousson's going to join the party as well. But Menno de Graaf is under deep pressure from Steve Place. There has been drama with Stefan Mellis. I don't know if this is Mellis. I think this is Mellis on his own. If you look further up the road, I think Michael Mannion does something at the same time. Mellis goes round on his own, and then I think Mannion has an issue at the same time here, because he's dropped back. In fact, he's made 2 mistakes, Michael Mannion. This is going to be a Ty Hamo moment. Yep.
Yeah, and needs to go to the leaders, James, because they're crossing over the line to complete the race. It's John Hudson who's going to take his 2nd win of the event ahead of Menno de Graaf, who makes it to the podium for the first time in the pros. And it's Steve Place who rounds out the podium in 3rd place. We've got Glenn Mulholland, James Coombs, Mike Bousson, and Luke Maxwell making it back to P7. Gertjan Polman is the winner again in the AMS in 8th position overall. Ty Hamo and Michael Mannion make it to the end. It's Mannion who will be on reverse grid pole ahead of Stefan Millis and Richard Lucas.
Yeah, great fighting from all of them guys as well. Hamo managing to grab that 2nd place in the AMS is absolutely amazing for him. So well done with Michael Mannion sitting in 3rd place there. Richard Lucas, of course, had a problem right at the beginning, jumped the start, and unfortunately, well, I suppose on the upside, he finishes the race with 4 wheels.
And he's got some points to go with it.
Yeah, he's got points. What's the problem? You know what I mean? He's out here learning as Richard Lucas, so that's all that matters for him here this evening. Every little bit of track time he gets is more and more for him to learn from. But there's the results from race number 2.
And it's John Hudson who wins for the 2nd time tonight, ahead of Menno de Graaf and Steve Place. Glenn Mulholland, James Coombs, Mike Bousson, Luke Maxwell are the rest of those in the pros. Then we've got Gertjan Polman, the winner in the AMS, ahead of Ty Hamo and Michael Mannion, who will begin race 3 from reverse grid pole. Stefan Millis and Richard Lucas also made it to the end.
Yeah, Tyrex, let me know who you are. I don't think I do myself any favours getting up 10 minutes before the race. No, definitely not. I can see that one definitely being a not a good thing. So there we go. Right, guys, we're going to have 5 minutes here as well. I'm going to top up my drinks because I'm hot. Tom's probably going to need to do the same. We'll be back before race number 3. Ty, you're doing really well. What are you moaning about, son? You should get up 10 minutes before the race every week. You've had a third and a second. Good job, buddy. But we'll be right back.
Welcome back to Red Atlanta in the Radical SR8 Championship. We've got drivers in this one session just getting a little bit more mileage whilst they've got the opportunity to do so. We've got the WMP1 drivers of Michael Manning and Ty Hamo on circuit. Michael Manning will begin race number 3 from reverse grid pole, which I'm sure is a challenge he is embracing, considering he won't get many opportunities like that. But having said that, tonight, with it being a reduced grid, he's got an opportunity to take advantage and get some good points. JP, what have you learned so far from tonight?
Road Atlanta doing Road Atlanta. Great things. You know what I mean? That's all that matters. At the end of the day, the racing's always been good at Road Atlanta, and I think it will always continue to be here as well. And it's early here in upside down land, apparently, says Ty Hamo, and it's getting late here in the right side up land, says Steve Webb. It does on that one. Stevie, I hope you saw my message, sunshine. But yeah, it should be a good race. 20 minutes, top 10 reverse. Let's see how they get on. I'm looking forward to it. Should be fun.
Yeah, it looks like Michael Manning was learning the ropes around the circuit. I know there's a thing of learning the limits around the circuit. We didn't expect it to go through one of the other configurations of this course. Meanwhile, Medvedev is coming to complete a lap, which will probably end up being the only time he'll end up doing. Unless he's trying to do like a practice start or something. I think that may be what he's trying to do.
Yeah, I think you might be right on that one. GT3 Dave, I'm rooting for my pal GJ Pullman. He's had a good race so far, mate. He's won 2 out of 2 in the AMs, so yeah, fair play to Gate and Pullman. Done a stellar job.
And so the warm-up session concludes, and we can get back to racing for the third and final time. 20 minutes it'll be. More points are on offer in this one, 25 for the win, as opposed to 20 of which we had for each of the first 2. But here is the grid. Michael Manning on reverse grid pole ahead of Ty Hamo.
Oh, 2 seconds. Hold on. There you go. Try that one.
And Michael Manning is on reverse quad pole ahead of Ty Hamo. In second place, we got Jan Polman and Luke Maxwell on row number 2. Mike Bousson and James Coombs on row 3, with ahead of Glenn Mulholland and Steve Place on row number 4. Glenn Mena de Groff and John Hudson round out the top 10, with Stefan Millis and Richard Lucas making the grid. Luke Chinison won't get in time as he struggled to join us over the course of today.
Yeah, he's having some weird issue. He's joined in time, but the session won't let him drive. It's really bizarre. I've never seen this before in my life, in all of iRacing, so I'm not quite sure what went on there with Luke Chinison. I don't get it. I'm sorry, Luke, if you're listening. I really can't give you a solution to this problem because I've never heard it before in my life. Mannion, Hamo and Pullman. 3 arms at the front. This should be interesting.
Here we go. 3 arms at the front. Will they be in front by the time that the 20 minutes are up? Lights are on. Lights off. It's go for the last time here at Road America. And it's a brilliant start off the line from Luke Maxwell. Straight from 4th, and he'll go into 2nd place ahead of Gert-Jan Polman. It is Michael Manning who lead into turn 1 first. Gert-Jan Polman is able to break Maxwell, but will he have the high ground all the way up the hill? The answer is yes. And we've got Steve Place who's tumbled down the order, unfortunately, as the field make their way through the S's for the first time in his 3rd and final event.
Yeah, also as well, Ty Hamo's played that very, very carefully at the moment. He's dropped down 2 places already, and he's got Mike Bousson and Coombs tucked in behind him. Oh, no, he's not. Bousson's in the wall. Bousson's in the wall on the left-hand side there.
Yeah, there's no doubt there's going to be some damage to that car, so I think that's effectively race done for Mike Bousson, unfortunately. But there we see Maxwell on the tail of Polman as they come out of turn, so we'll get a timing tally up for you in a moment. But it's so far Michael Manning making no mistakes as we speak, ahead of Polman, with Maxwell in 3rd position overall and 1st in passing the pros.
Yeah, doing a great job there at this moment in time is Luke Maxwell. I expect, and I'm not being derogatory to Mannion or Polman, this kind of should be a Maxwell win if he can get these guys past very, very quickly. There's been some drama for Bousson's had to jump back to pit lane. He's got a meatball and he's out at the moment. Menno is flicking around with Stefan Mellis. Michael Mannion still got Polman tucked in behind him. Maxwell still behind him, which I'm quite surprised about. I thought Maxwell might have got him by now, because once he does, I think he could be well on his bike here, because he's got Ty Hamo acting as a kind of a wing back, preventing Coombs from getting through, and Mulholland and Mark Hutchinson. So yeah, if I was Luke Maxwell, I'd probably get on my bike a bit shift this here, get these 2 past.
Yeah, and considering the time lost in places in race number 2, Maxwell needs to make up for it in this 3rd and final race. He should go on the inside, but now he's almost like he's switching his attention to defend here from Ty Hamo. He's in 4th position overall. And then it's James Coombs, and it's Glenn Mulholland, and it's John Hutchinson in P7. And Louis Rock in 8, just in front of Steve Place, who lost places at the beginning. But so far, there's a long way to go. Hutchinson on the move on Glenn Mulholland. Now, will Mulholland fight this one, or will he allow Hutchinson to play the long game?
No, they're both in pros. He should have given him a run here into turn 10. What he needs to do is 7 Hutchinson in really, really deep there. Oh, they're all clogged up. They're all clogged up.
Oh, that's contact.
Yeah, Coombs has got no nose.
And
oh, they were all clogged up going into 10-8, and unfortunately it looks like Coombs has hit him. Don't know what the whole situation was. Oh, you can see them all. Hamo got out of control. He lost it on the entrance, and Coombs had nowhere to go, and just unfortunately Ty Hamo's rear end provided brakes there. Polman's had some drama at the same time, because, oh my God, they've all got, I don't know what's going on. They've all had drama. Maxwell's going to go through. Polman just, oh, him and Mannion, yeah. Maxwell's got through, but yeah, I'm not quite sure what's happened to Polman there, but wherever he happened, there was some drama, and Polman and Mannion have lost a place to Luke Maxwell. So yeah, lots gone on in race number 3.
Yeah, and Polman and Mannion make contacts going to turn 6, and all of this is helping Luke Maxwell now. As we predicted, John Hutchinson needs to get out of this now. He needs to go ahead of the AM drivers and chase after Luke Maxwell if he's going to come away with a hat-trick of victories this evening. But all that drama started with Luke Polman making a mistake, was fighting for the lead with Michael Mannion, and now both of them have tumbled down the order, and there we see Michael Mannion, who is now behind Ty Hamo through all the chaos from what we saw that kick started at this particular corner on the previous lap.
Yeah, it all bunched up. It was really weird, but Hutchinson's got to slow down as well. He's got to try and get that off at the same time as having a fight. It's all, yeah, it's all very congested. Look, 2, 4, 6, 7 cars. Look, Hutchinson's just lost a bunch of positions due to his slowdown. And unfortunately, he's all the way down in 6th, and he's got to do all this again. Hamo, Mannion, Pullman having their own little battle. These are drivers in the AMs that are all the same speed. So they're all fighting with each other. Mulholland's trying to escape and probably get his best finishing position, if I'm not mistaken, of the whole season here in 2nd. And yeah, there's a lot of congestion right the way down to Stefan Mellis, who isn't too far off this pack either. And the gap from one to... Oh, don't do that for me, Stefan. The gap from this gap all the way down to Stefan is only 4.5 seconds. And McHutchinson and Maxwell saying, thank you very much, boys. I'm on my bike. See you later.
Yep, Luke Maxwell pulling further and further clear away from Clymer Holland, who, just to correct James, he has taken victory this season at Road America, the 3rd and final race it was. In that brilliant thriller of Road America, he's got Ty Hamo on his tail, Gabriel Coleman in 4th place. Overall, just in front of Michael Mannion, he's looking to fight back as we speak. We're looking at the back of the 2nd place between Mulholland and Hamo. As they go down the hill again, and we'll begin lap number 5. And so far, Maxwell, he may feel he have this one in his pocket, but it just takes one error. From memory, I'm sure, you know that high curve on the exit at 5?
Yep.
I'm sure he's had an accident there before in this series.
Oh, they've probably all had an accident. Mannion's, I don't know, Mannion's off the track. Mannion's off the track. He's just lost places as well. So Michael Mannion is gone from up front in and now all the way down into 10th place currently. So Michael Mannion there, unfortunately for him. But Luke Maxwell, Mulholland and Ty Hamo still fighting out. Then behind that, you've got McHutchinson trying to get through, or Menno de Graaf, who of course got promoted after his win in the AMS last season. Gert-Jan Polman's there and Place is there. This is not going to be easy for McHutchinson, I can tell you that much. But Maxwell's done exactly as we said. So fair play to him.
Hudson is still behind de Graaf. I think the best chance for Hudson to take something from this particular race is a 2nd place finish, because I just can't really see him catching up to Lee Maxwell. I just don't think he's going to have the time to do it.
No, he's not.
I think
Mulholland's going to get this one as well. Interesting message in YouTube chat. Ty's damage made him 4 kilometres per hour faster on the straights. Oh, that's a bit bizarre. I never heard of damage making you quicker, but what damage have you got, son? I'm not entirely sure, to be blatantly honest, but whatever it is, he's faster than he needs to be, and he's pulled away from Pullman, who's got de Graaf alongside him at the moment as well. But Hutchinson's in there. He's lost at the moment, is John. He doesn't know where to go. He doesn't know what to do. He can't go through on him. He's just got to sit there currently at the moment.
Just hope for the best as well for John. He has got a run on there, de Graaf coming out of 5, so he might just be able to outbreak him into 6. Contact made between the pair of them. It looks like John's got the job done here. Around the outside, de Graaf thinks about a fight back here. He's able to get on the throttle a little sooner than the Scott, but I think John should have all the momentum when he exits to hold the position, and he does so. So he's up into 5th place now, is John.
Yeah, he should now go after Gert-Jan Polman, but he's not going to have it all his own way. Menno and Place coming at him here. They've all been kept into this because of the draft from 7 to 10, and now Place has got through as well, and now this is where Place is going to have a go at McHutchinson and in behind that. So there's a lot still to play for here. Ty Hamo doing a great job leading the AMS and sitting 3rd overall. Go Ty Hamo. So there we go.
We're watching these two fight over 2nd places at John's. For one of the AMS to finish on the podium in this 3rd race, which would be fantastic for the series. Before we go to the Nordschleife, where I expect, is it going to be a 2-race event like we've been in the past, James, for this series, or is it just going to be the normal format?
No, it is, but I need to... Hold on. I need to find out what he was doing on that one. Leave that with me. I will get back to you.
Looking at Ty Hamo at the moment, going straight in running in 3rd place overall, and the leader in the AMS. Gert-Jan Polman took the 2 wins in the AMS in the early races. There's a chance for Ty Hamo to make up ground in the race in the AMS. Running in 3rd place is a good result. I'm just wondering how many points they'll end up scoring. Will it be down to where they finish in class, or is it where they'll finish overall? It's where they'll finish overall. Where Ty Hamo is a very healthy situation compared to the rivals he's facing in the running the title in the AMS.
Yeah, absolutely. Matty Richardson, you might be able to help me out with Nords. I can't remember what John did for the Nords? Is it? I can't remember. He did say about doing one race, and then he said about doing 2 4-lap races. So I'm not quite sure what was decided there, but we'll find out on that one very, very shortly. McHutchison has still got Pullman in behind. Place still in behind that as well. Ty Hamo leading the arms. Gert-Jan Pullman in second, and the podium for Stefan Mellis in third after he's had 2 not great races for race 1 and 2. He's going to be taking a podium in 3. So looking forward to seeing how he gets on and whether or not he can hold on. But Stephen Place chasing down Gert-Jan Pullman.
The right-hander of 6th. Steve Place wants to get as strong of an exit as possible on Gert-Jan Pullman. Is he in line to attack? He's not in line to attack just yet. We're now halfway through this third and final race, and it's Luke Maxwell leading by a good 2 seconds over Glenn Mulholland. Ty Hamo in third position. It's a long time since we've seen an AM stand on the top step overall in this series. The chicane again, and Hamo, well, we did have, I think the last driver that took an AM victory over was an Australian as well, James, at Phillip Island.
Was it? Who was that?
Well, I pronounced it as Sam Katakazinos.
Oh, Sam Oh God, Sam Katakazinos. As well. I know Sam from another series actually as well. That's why he joined on this one. But yeah, fair play to Ty Hamo, doing a stunning job at this moment in time. McHutchison 7/10 back behind that. He's dropped Pullman. He's dropped McGrath. He's got Place as well. I'm sure our Place lost that to Menno. He must have had a slide here. He did on the exit of 1. Look, runs wide. Menno says thanks very much for that and takes that Place away. So I think it's 2 times 4 laps. Yeah, that's what I read as well, Steve. I'm sure that's what he was playing around with there. I don't think he was doing just 1 8-lap race. I think it was 2 times 4 laps at Nords this year. So yeah, I think that's what we're expecting.
We see Hamo on the attack on Mulholland at 10-8 and B. Just get all the momentum off the exit. He might just get alongside and send it into the last corner there. He needs to be worried that Hudson is looming in behind, so Hamo needs to play this one carefully. He's going up the inside of Mulholland. He should be able to just keep his foot in there. And Hamo, oh, that was so close to contact, and Hudson will take advantage as you go on through. There's no question about that. But Hamo's attempt to go through for second place has backfired him. But I don't necessarily blame him for having a go there, because Mulholland has just not really had the pace to hold it back there. He was lucky he got away with it.
Yeah, that's the thing. Unfortunately for Ty, he went for 1 and lost 1. And that's the biggest problems in races like this, where you go for one position and you end up losing one. But listen, he's leading the arms. So, you know, fair play to him. Why not have a go, son? You know what I mean? Go for it as much as you can. Menno's in behind Gert there. You can see them two. They've had battles galore all through the seasons, battling for the ARM championships and things, so they know each other rather well. So, you know, it's still great battling all the way through, but it's now what McHutchison's going to be able to do. Can he get through Mulholland? I like Matty Richardson's comment early on as well. Maxwell in front is like the broadcasters are expert and know the drivers. Oh, Matty, drop an apple on my desk on your way to the chair in the morning, son.
Hudson, he's already got by Hamo. He wants to go on through ahead of Mulholland into second position here. Not in line to have a go into 1 yet, though. I'm looking at the number of times Steve Place is going offline, James. You don't normally see the Radicals go offline like that in the way he has been all evening.
Yeah, he's flicking backwards and forwards. I'm not entirely sure what he's doing, to be honest, going down that straight. We'll try and pick up on it next lap. I want to have a look and see. Mannion's been he's not done himself any favours here, unfortunately for Michael Mannion. This is going to be a slide on the exit. There we go. Yeah. Oh, he even got it on the entrance. So Michael Mannion unfortunately goes round. McHutchison tucked in behind Mulholland. And I think this is going to be very hard for Glenn Mulholland to decide what he's going to do here.
Here we go. Into the slipstream of Mulholland. I think Mulholland's got to go through this time around. It's just where does he decide to place the car? If he can just outbrake him, get the inside and just block off the apex and set the momentum of Mulholland, that should be enough. And I think that's what Mulholland is doing here. He's left the door open though into the second part. I think he's got him here.
Yeah, he just weren't quite brave enough in the entrance of 10 to basically go after him, and he didn't send him in. He gave him bucket loads of room on the inside, gave him bucket loads of room on the exit. You see Stephen Place in the background there. I don't know if there's a bump on the circuit or whatever, but Holland needed to be a little bit politely, Glenn, he needed to be a little bit of a braver boy there, Sunshine, unfortunately. But yeah, just not quite happening for Mulholland. Hamo still tucked in once more behind Glenn Mulholland. Where have we seen this before this evening?
Well, about 5 minutes remaining. And it's Hutchinson in second place now after starting in P10. It's Mulholland who's down to third place. He's still got Ty Hamo on his tail. It's nice to see the AMs mixing it out with the pros. That's the whole thing with the reverse grid races. These for those who tend to be starting towards near the field, the back of the field, get a chance to try and fight it out the front. James Coase has gone back into pit lane now, so his race is done and dusted, along with Mike Boson, who we lost on the first lap of this.
Yeah, we didn't actually see Mike's incident, but this is it here. Oh no, a little bit further back. Hold on, sorry. You can see him takes the curb on 5, doesn't take all of it, snaps, bang, straight into the wall. And that curb is absolutely deadly, and I think that's what did Mike out this one here at the same time. Hamo's still fighting around with Mulholland. Holman, ooh, having to go with a very slidey steep place into turn 1 there.
Yeah, John Hudson with a new fast up at the race, 1:15.3. That's 3 tenths quicker than what Maxwell had previously done. So Hudson is getting the gap down, but he's only got, I would say, 4 more laps of racing in this to try and snatch victory away from him. Maxwell and complete a hat-trick of victories here at Road Atlanta.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to get it. He's too far back. Luke's, yeah, you know, Luke's Luke. Let's be real. So I don't think he's going to get there at the moment. But yeah, Matt Hutchinson will hopefully get away from Mulholland. It's what Hamo's going to be able to do, really, because he's got another pro, and Menno de Graaf, tucked in behind him. Anywhere Hamo finishes, he's had a good night. You know what I mean? He's had a 3rd place, he's had a 2nd place, and it looks like he's going to grab himself a 1st place as well. So he's going to go over bronze, silver, and gold here this evening for Ty Hamo. So fair play to him.
But the news is he's now got a slow down, so that's going to allow Menno de Graaf to close in. But it's just where Hamo decides to use that slow down. If he does it through here, he's going to lose too much time, and he's done exactly what Mark Hudson did earlier. Back off on the pit straight. He still hasn't got that off yet.
Oh,
he goes
Ty!
Oh my goodness, no! And he's totally buckled it now.
Oh, bro, he's got about 1.8 seconds. Get that. Oh, he's out.
No, it's too much damage. He's gone. He's gone.
Well, he ain't going over gold, silver, and bronze then, is he? Unfortunately for Ty Hamo there.
I shouldn't really use the word buckle in that situation, but he just totally threw it all away when he was not under any form of pressure whatsoever.
Do you know the problem wasn't the fact that he's done that. The problem is here. He should have just let the car ride the grass. Let it ride the grass. And he tried to pull it back on. He hit the curb on the exit or right on the corner, and unfortunately bounced the car around. You see his nose is all a little bit wobbling, falls off for Ty Hamo. But yeah, I don't know about bottling it. I think more trying to get back onto the track as quickly as possible, and that's where it all went a little bit wrong for Ty. So yeah, he should have taken a little bit more time. He had time to run up the grass, get the car back on slowly, and unfortunately he didn't. So poor old Ty Hamo. Luke Maxwell, 1 and 1 more on the clock here, out in front by 3 seconds.
Yep, and Hudson with another new fast stop of the race, 1:15.2. He was over 4 tenths quicker than Maxwell on that previous lap. But like you say, James, it's going to be too little too late for Hudson to do anything about Maxwell at this rate. Gert-Jan Pollmann is on his way to a hat-trick of AM victories tonight, though. With Hamo's mistake, that's moved him into the lead in that respect. And Stefan Millis on course for a 2nd place finish.
Yeah, absolutely stunning job from Stefan there. He's had a bit of a rough 1 and 2, but doing a stunning job at this moment in time there. Pollmann leading, 3 out of 3 for Gert-Jan Pollmann tonight. Great job from him.
You see John Hudson in the background. He's got the gap down to 2.6 so far on this lap. Now it's going to take a mistake for Maxwell to really throw this one away.
Well, let's hope he doesn't.
Well, not that I'm begging it for him. I don't want him to do it. You know, I want him to end the evening in style and try and pick up a race win. Something which he hasn't tasted since the opening round at Silverstone.
Yeah, but he looks like he should be able to wrap it up here in race number 3. One more lap to go for Luke Maxwell, and stunning job from him. Ty, yeah, the silly mistake we make when we're half asleep. Didn't even get to finish my coffee before jumping into the rig. Ty, you didn't have to make the mistake, son. You could have just run up the grass. You got a little bit excited bringing the car back onto the track, and you bounced the exit curb of turn 1, and unfortunately your rear end decided that that was enough for that. So there we go. Unfortunately for you, dear sir. But next time, run it up the grass, mate. You have plenty of time to recover on that one. Maxwell, McCutcheon, Mulholland. That's how we should end.
Well, Hudson took nearly half a second out Maxwell's margin on the previous lap. The new fast lap, 1:15.1. Let's see if we can maybe get into the 1:14s, which is highly unlikely. Well, we've drifted like coming out of 7 on that. I think that particular chance is gone. So Maxwell can breathe easy from here on in. And it will not be a hat-trick of wins for John Hudson, but he will come away with a second place finish and a good haul of points. Meanwhile, one of the rivals for the title, Luke Maxwell, is, well, he's got a point to prove this season to still show why he belongs in this championship. Well, he's done it here in race number 3. Luke Maxwell takes the final winner tonight here at Road Atlanta, ahead of John Hudson by over a couple of seconds. The man completing the podium is Glenn Mulholland.
Yeah, great job from him. So well done. Gaia Pullman coming over the line in the AMS, and it takes 3 out of 3 victories there. That should have been Ty Harrows. Stefan Mellis, after a dreadful race 1 and 2, grabs second in the AMS as well, even though his internet is having a bit of a one. Michael Mannion grabs his 3rd podium of the evening. Him and Pullman taking 3 out of 3 podiums tonight. John McCutcheon is the only pro to get 3 out of 3 in the pros for podiums. So the AMs there getting more drivers than the pros on the podium. So fair play to them.
Michael Mannion at least ends his race on a high. Michael collecting an AM podium. After being on reverse grid pole earlier, and we see Richard Lucas getting over the line. I don't think he's been involved in any shenanigans in his 3rd race, has he?
No, he's had a great 3rd race. He's got 4th place, grabbed himself some points. So fair play to Richard Lucas on that one. But there are the results on the screen.
And it's Luke Maxwell who takes victory for the 2nd time this season with John Hudson in P2. The man completing the podium was Glenn Mulholland ahead of Melody Goff and Steve Place. Gaetan Pullman rounds up a hat-trick of AM victories, finishing quite a distance ahead of Stefan Mellis. Michael Mannion completed the AM podium with Richard Lucas, the last of those to finish. The ones we lost were Ty Hamo, James Cairns and Mike Bousson.
Yeah, great evening of racing from them guys. Luke Maxwell sat in the interview room ready for you, Tom.
We'll get a word with Luke as he's waiting to speak to us now. And Luke, well, after a tricky start to the evening, you ended the evening on a high with that race 3 victory.
Yeah, I think just managed to kind of bolt a bit as the the other guys were trying to, get back through the field. So it was a bit hairy. I picked up some damage, so I was keen to build as much of a gap as I could, because I could see. I said to John when he was about 3.5 seconds back and he got into P2 that I felt like a sitting duck at that point. But the pace wasn't terrible. I just had a lack of top speed. So.
What was it in the second race there? Because you seem to have gone on a bit of a detour there, learning the ropes of another configuration of the circuit. There was no contact from what we observed. When
no, it was. I got on the grass and then got a tank slapper, so I was really, really lucky just to keep it out of the wall, I think, at that point. So just managed to get it straight and thought, there's a road that looks like a sensible place to try and recover and get back on. I was conscious of people, going, the rejoin obviously are there on that corner. People tend to run out quite wide. So yes, it cost me a bit, but it all puts you in good stead for the grid slot for the last race. So it swings around about, doesn't it?
Since you're a Brit like myself, how have you been coping over the last few days with how hot it's been?
Well, quite lucky. We got a couple of air conditioning things in the house, so in my office where I do my racing, so that's keeping me relatively cool while I'm still sweating. And then the other one, we can kind of open the door and relieve a bit. Night time's the worst, isn't it? When it's 32 degrees in the day, you're cooking at night, aren't you?
Yeah. Anyone to shout out to, Luke, before we let you go?
I'd give a shout out to the guys in the league. I mean, it's again, I know it's a bank holiday today. People have been on holiday and busy doing other things, so a little bit lower numbers today. But I'm sure next week everyone will be back and back at Nords. Interesting.
Yeah, it should be a fun encounter, I'd imagine. Luke, thank you for taking the time to speak to us. Well done on your victory, your second of the season, and hope we'll see more of that in the coming rounds.
Thanks, guys. Yeah, all the best.
That was Luke Maxwell. Shall we speak to the hat-trick hero of the AMS, Gert-Jan Polman, JP? And we shall speak to the Dutchman himself. Gert, good evening. How are you?
Hi, good evening. Yeah, very well. This was an excellent result.
He seems to have had a little bit on a plate, though, by Tai Hamo, who made an error. He had a slowdown initially. He tried to get off on the straight, but then got his line into turn one all wrong.
Oh no, was that the case? Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
He was really fast. He was faster than me, so he should have just taken that victory. But well, yeah, I'm just really happy about tonight because I did 3, I think, good races. I had some pace. I made 0 mistakes. I get still 0x on all the 3 races, and I think that's just really important and to stay consistent. And it's a shame about Tai, but yeah, just got to keep it on the road.
No, I mean,
Well, I did not smile, but I was I was.
You didn't smile on the outside, but you smiled on the inside.
I did smile, of course, because that was the only way I could have passed him because he was faster. He was behind me in race 1 and in race 2, and he was fighting there. So that was my luck. But in race 3, he was just too fast. So I was just sitting tight and hoping that he had some problem, and fortunately he did.
What about nods then? Because I imagine it'd be your kind of circuit for you, Gert. I'm just trying to remember. Were you involved in the previous time we raced at nods because we did 2 races, 4 laps each, and just trying to gather my memory as to how you got on there.
I can't really remember. Yeah, I was there, but I really hate that track because it's just so easy to make a mistake to just go a little bit over the curb, and the other guys are just so fast there. So it's not one of my favorites, but the racing there is good with this group.
Yeah. Anyone to shout to Gert before we let you go?
Well, I'd like to shout out to all the very hot, sweaty Englishmen and Scots there, because it's really hot. It's a hot night. It was hot on the track, but everyone is really sweaty. Yeah.
Well, for your information, Gert, today marks a record for May Day, which is the specific bank holiday we have at this time of the month. 32.9 degrees was recorded over at Heathrow, which is the hottest it's ever been on this particular bank holiday.
That's amazing. That's even hotter than here. It's like 28 or something here, but still very hot.
Yeah. Anyway, I'll let you go.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, mate, and we'll speak to you again soon.
Bye-bye.
That was Gert-Jan Polman, and we'll speak to the man who ended his evening on a high by finishing on the podium in that third and final race. We'll speak to Glenn Mulholland.
Hello.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening. How you getting on?
Sweating, Glenn. I'm sweating.
Yeah, I know that feeling.
Is that what it's been over where you are?
Yes, it's sort of 24, 25 today, I think. So that's warm enough for me.
Talk to us about your season so far, because I was able to commentate on Road America where you took victory there. How have you handled the radical cluster rates compared to what you used to?
Yeah, no, it's all right. It's the Silverstone morning. Aidan Blake, he texted me that morning to say, "Oh, look, here's this league. Do you fancy hopping on it?" So that was the first time I'd ever driven the car. It was like maybe an hour before we did a bit of practice. So that was interesting. And then this is the first time I've had all 3 races just go smoothly. So that was quite nice. Every other race I've sort of had one big shunt.
Yeah, because I was trying to remember. I think you were around for Interlagos last week. I think it was definitely one of the races. I think it might have been over where Pinarino is, where we had a bit of a concertina. I think you might have got caught up in that. I might be wrong on that, but it's just one of those things with the radical cluster race. It's just when you're so close, you basically in a long queue of cars, one car makes a mistake ahead of you, and you have a very limited amount of time to just simply react to it, or just none at all.
Yeah, exactly. I think I benefited from that in the feature race. I got taken out. Luke Toynison, he made a mistake and just got on the grass, and I was a passenger basically. But yeah, it was like nice just to get through, and this race was good fun. I didn't think I had that much pace, but I was just kept it out of trouble, really.
Yeah. Considering the bumpy nature of Red Atlanta, you've done a terrific job. Anyone want to shout out to Glenn before we let you go?
Yeah, I'll shout out Big Aiden. He's away getting hammered at the moment, so there you go.
Well, he definitely needs to be back in here for the sake of the championship because it's all closed up again as we approach the halfway point in the season. Glenn, good to speak to you, and best of luck for Nords next time out, and we'll speak to you again soon.
Thank you. I'm going to need it, I think.
Considering we've got over 100 corners around the North Schleifer, I think he's definitely going to need a lot of luck on his side. We'll speak to our final man of the night, the man of the show here at Road Atlanta, the Flying Scotsman himself. John, good evening.
Good evening, boys.
What were you up to then last week? Explain to us.
I think you know what I was up to last
Was you
week.
bowling?
I was bowling again, yes.
Oh, my God.
Oh, tell us about it.
We won, we won, and we won again yesterday, so that's into the final of the competition we're playing in. So looking forward to that next Sunday.
Excellent. So whereabouts has that been held at then, John?
Oh, it's just a local tournament. It's in Airdrie. Yeah, it's in Lanarkshire. It's a Lanarkshire tournament. So we're looking forward to it. Good event for us.
Since that you're over in Scotland, how hot has it been over there compared to what it's been over in England?
Well, 10 degrees cooler up here, I believe. It's only 23 up here, which is nice for me, being a ginger. Anything hotter, I start to sizzle. So that's just good for me.
Brilliant. Tell us about your racing tonight then, because obviously we were rather more limited considering it's been in bank holiday today. But how was the challenge at Red Atlanta for you?
Yeah, well, with the limited numbers, there's a good chance to get a good haul of points, and I managed that tonight. So it's always good. I always like coming around here. Always pretty quick round here. Always have been. I enjoy racing around here. But can't wait till next week. That's going to be even better.
Yeah, hopefully the size of the field will increase again for Nords because it's going to be an absolute belter of an event. I can be absolutely sure of it. Anyone want to shout out to John before we let you go?
I'll give a shout out to my bowling teammates because I think some of them are watching tonight. So shout out to the Dykes.
To the who?
The Dykes.
Oh, Dykes.
Dykes. We're called Coat Dyke.
D-Y-K-E-S.
Yes, D-Y-K-E-S.
Yep, that means something completely different in the UK. Anyway.
Yeah, I know it does. There's a story behind it, but I'll tell you that some other time.
Oh, right. Oh, drop me that off air, bud, and I'll catch up with you soon.
Well do. Thanks, guys.
Well, there's another story we've got lined up for you for the next time we speak to Mr. John Hutchinson.
Oh, dear me. Yeah, absolutely. Bless it. Anyway, moving on, Tom. Wrap us up. Let's go home. I've got a bed to get to.
Cool. Well, after a very amusing end to the broadcast here, it's John Hutchinson who collected the first two victories of tonight before his Team Redline partner, Luke Maxwell, ended the evening with victory to keep himself in the running. And Hutchinson bagged almost all of the points that he was able to achieve and keep himself in the running for the championship as well. Thank you very much to everyone that's tuned in. Do make sure to like and subscribe. That way you won't miss a thing, including the Radical SR8 Championship. And we've still got the next round to come at Nords, which is just in a week's time. So it's also something you will not want to be missing either. I've been Tom Cairns alongside James Parfitt, and that is us done for tonight. We'll speak to you again soon when the Radical SR8 Championship returns, and it's good night.